Hey group! Oh, I miss you guys so much. Okay, so I know I've been kind of absent from the group meet, but I just kind of need a season away. But I wanted to come with you guys with a little video and just like share my testimony really quick, because lately I've just been having conversations with like, I want to say about 4 or 5 people within the past week. Actually within the past like 3 days, to be quite honest, about counseling. I don't know, God kind of like convicted my heart this morning to come with like a video to talk about counseling, because I think in the Christian community and just in general, a lot of people think that like when we talk about therapy or when we talk about counseling, like it's a taboo thing. It's wrong because it's like it means that you have issues. But like I just want to come with a video and encouragement and sharing my testimony of how counseling is healthy, it's needed, and I encourage it. And hopefully I can like provide some resources to some people who may be secretly suffering or like know that they have some things that they need to address, but they just don't know how, or just coming with some encouragement, So I don't know if you guys know, I think I've shared this in some prayer requests or like sharing some things in Bible study, but I'm in counseling as needed, but right before summer started, for probably about 2 or 3 months, I was in counseling weekly. I was definitely suffering through depression and just was in a period in my life where I needed to address a lot of issues. And I am very thankful for counseling, because the bubbly, energetic person that you see today is not who I was at the beginning of the year. Not even like 4 months ago, 5 months ago. So if I didn't go through that, I wouldn't be who I am today. And I wouldn't be in a position to be able to encourage you right now. And I wouldn't be able to be the Christian and be able to follow Christ, because I was so consumed with emotions and so caught up in myself and so depressed and down and so consumed with darkness, in a sense of like so much negativity and so much hurt and so much pain that I was suppressing in my spirit and in just me, that I wasn't even able to allow God in, and I wasn't even allowed to really embrace and feel who he was, because I was so caught into pain in myself. So I'm coming with this video and I'm sharing my testimony, because if you find like you're struggling with self and you're struggling with God and your relationship with God, and prayer is not enough, and even sometimes community isn't enough, then maybe we need to think about seeking help in a different way, which may be counseling, to be able to reveal and get to the root of some of your problems. Sometimes people ask me like, Jasmine, you pray so much and you're so intentional with your prayers. And I'm like, because counseling. I had to find out what the root of a lot of my problems were, so I could go to God with my struggles and intentionally and in detail, give my problems to him so he could fix me and work on me, And so I'm just coming with encouragement. So just to talk about me and my testimony really quickly, like counseling for me, it was hard at first. There was a lot of crying, there was a lot of layers, there was a lot of things that I had to address about myself. But one thing that I did notice, one thing that we talked about, and know that there's different layers, different roots of problems, but it all starts with insecurity. It all starts with anxiety. And sometimes it all starts from your childhood. I know one of my first insecurities started when I was 5 years old, 5. And it was associated with a learning disability. I just didn't learn the way other kids did. But I was made to believe that I wasn't smart enough, that I wasn't good enough. I was enabled a lot, because instead of really understanding like how I learned, I was enabled a lot when it came to my academics, would affect me to my core of like who I was. And just that insecurity alone, just from 5 years old, I'm 28, y'all, from 5 years old to this day, I still carry insecurities with that. So, and I still have trigger moments associated with that. So if there's times that like I'm struggling, let's just use an example of Bible study. You know, a scripture comes along, it's my turn to read. That is something that is anxiety riddles with me. Or that if I didn't go through counseling to address those issues and to know those things about myself, being in moments in time where that I have to read, or that an insecurity that's associated with my learning disability is brought forth, it makes me extremely insecure, embarrassed. It's that association of pain brings up so many memories that I've suppressed through so many years of suppression of that, to where when a trigger happens, when an event happens that reminds me of that insecurity, I'm destroyed and I shut down and I feel inadequate and I want to flee and I'm embarrassed and I'm ashamed, and it affects a lot of other things. And it's like, when you have trigger moments like that with your insecurities, you have to address it. But first, if you don't even know that you have the insecurity in the first place, if you don't even know that that's a root of your issue and your problem, then how can you fix it? And that's what counseling is. It gets to the root of your problem. It helps you clean out all of the hurt and pain that you've suppressed in so many years. So when you have a trigger moment, when you have a moment like where I'm put in positions sometimes where my insecurity is challenged with a learning disability, I know that at that moment where I feel embarrassed or I feel insecure or I feel anxiety coming along, I can address it at that moment. And I can be confident in my walk. And I know that this doesn't feel good right now, but I know that I am a smart woman. That I know that this feeling would pass. And I've addressed issues from that to where I'm not going to bring up old pain. It's not going to shut me down. And even if I feel like I'm about to shut down, I'm okay enough to where I can call on my brother, I can call on my sister to pray for me. But ultimately, like, I'm self-aware enough of my pain and my insecurity that I can find confidence through God at this moment in time when I can't find confidence in myself. So, like, stuff like that is why counseling is important, because it makes you address certain issues and certain insecurities about yourself that you may not understand, or you may not know is there, or you may know it's there, but you may not know that it's associated with other things that have made you make decisions in your past. Like, because of that issue that I had from 5 years old, it has affected my decision and my self-esteem and the way that I've carried myself, and it's affected me and held me back from a lot of choices that I've made, you know. And I can't change the past, but what I can do is, now that I'm self-aware that of this issue, that from this forth on, since I know better, I know myself, I know my emotions, I know my triggers, I'm going to choose to make better decisions. And I'm not going to allow this insecurity and this fear to affect me in my future. And I'm going to address my depression, and I'm going to address my anxiety head on, because I am adequate, and I am strong, and I am smart, and I have to keep affirming myself in these things. And so I'm just sharing my testimony and sharing this because everybody has a different insecurity. Everybody has a different root to their problem, and I don't know yours, and it's probably not meant for me to know it. But I'm encouraging you that if you feel like you have some unaddressed issues that from your past that you find that is affecting you today and some of the decisions that you're making, and especially if it's affecting your walk with Christ, you need to go seek help, because sometimes prayer isn't enough. And sometimes even if you are in prayer, what are you praying for? How can you go to God with your problems if you don't know truly what it is that you need to give to God? You feel me? So that I just come with that testimony. Another thing that I wanted to kind of give to you guys too is there's this book that's called The 7 Desires of the Heart, I believe. I'll drop a link at the bottom. Another reason why I started counseling is because I was starting to be involved in a relationship. And as you're trying to become vulnerable with somebody and get to know them, it doesn't matter if it's a romantic relationship, if it's a friendship, whenever you're coming encounter with new people, just like our community, and you're trying to be naked and vulnerable and get to know people, you'll realize that triggers will start to come up. They'll start to come up. And you'll find that it's like, as you become naked and unashamed of who you are, sometimes you have to, it will reveal things about yourself that it's just like, dang, I do have issues. I do have things that I need to address. So I'm thankful for that relationship, because if I didn't go through that, I wouldn't be where I'm at. But one thing that I did learn from that relationship, and one book that I took away, was The 7 Desires of the Heart, which is a great book. If you're somebody who's kind of contemplating counseling, or you really don't know where to go, or maybe you may not have the finances to be able to go through counseling right now, this book really helped me with the process of like what it's like to think about some of my issues and the desires of my heart, and what things that I want, and what things that I'm suffering from, and how to like analyze my feelings and my emotions and to handle certain situations. So I will drop that link of that book. It's really good. I'm very thankful that person introduced that book into my life. But yeah, I just wanted to come with that video. I know this is kind of long, but if you took the time out of your day to watch this, I thank you. And I also will be dropping my number. If you guys ever need somebody to talk to, or like just need encouragement, let me know. I'm here. I love y'all. Y'all don't understand how much I pray for y'all, how much I love y'all, and y'all mean the world to me. So this is why I'm doing this, and this is why I'm reaching out. Because I don't know, my heart is just convicted to do this. So yeah, I love you. I will see you guys Sunday and Tuesday. All right, bye guys.